Oh. Mm. Oh. Oh. I think I drink. Hi guys, and today we're back at but today we'll actually play Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Actually known as the Stanley Parable 2. We'll go for the subtitles since I want the subtitles. And let's just get. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? Yes. Why? Please don't know the current time. Oh, I need to check the time. It is 12. Yeah, that sounds good. Yes! Let's go! I'm actually really excited. I got 20 bucks yesterday. So I decided to buy this game that cost £17. Now I've got £3 more left, but I'm not even sure what I'm going to spend that on. Stanley Parable is a good game. Yes.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I guess you can see the real thing.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building.
We played the Raccoon Demons in THONAS!
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk.
This sounds so real!
Push. How long to push them?
This is very loud.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And
Okay, that's bad.
might have considered it so routine, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came.
Many Maltesers,
Though
by
he
the
had
way.
been made exactly for this job, and Stanley was happy.
No, he isn't.
And then one day, something very peculiar
Is this
happened.
one happening?
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he
Yes.
would never quite forget.
Probably.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that
A
not
million
one
hours.
single
Probably
order
like
had
a
arrived
million.
on the monitor for
They
him
said
to follow.
Jesus.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a
Yeah,
meeting,
I think-
or even say hi.
I think we were just doing
Never
a
in
prank
all
of
his
and
years
Soul
at the
died.
company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
At least we're not your friends,
frozen
right?
solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he
Call
got up from his
911.
desk and stepped out of his office.
Just call 911. Where? They can move. Hello, Tom player. Can we call 911? Wait a minute. I didn't mean to press that
Stanley
button.
simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he
Help
had to
me!
make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that.
Help me!
No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. If
Ah!
anything now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait.
How can I wait?
Nothing will break me.
I didn't mean to press
In
the button.
here I can be happy forever.
No, you can't. I'm frustrated, so you aren't happy.
Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one
Look on
thing
the
he knew
computer.
for sure, beyond any doubt,
Call
was
the-
that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
The
Here
dance.
it comes.
I'm dancing. Oh. The end is never the end, 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 is never the end. This loading is taking forever. Anyway, let's just get into the speed word. The speed word of the game. Okay.
All of his co-workers will go.
Oh.
Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
No.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Oh, this is going to take forever.
No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Okay. I put this so many times. Whatever, we'll just leave it. Okay. Can you jump? Oh. I have been clicking on this forever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I just have to make some more blocks.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Dude, the coffee machine from looking him up.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Nice.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
You got the worst. I just got worsted.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Did you hear that? I just pressed. Did you see that? I just pressed the controller with my tongue. It says that I can't jump and I hate that
But
feeling.
at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
First open door on his left.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story is... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
No, I
Good
thought I
job,
could
Stanley.
fly.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yeah, I am. I fly. I can fly. If I can fly, you can fly. Hurry up and load!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's just speed run through it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Where am I
Yet there was
going?
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Nice. Oh, woo, woo, woo. That is a bag. It's on me. Stupid person. Da 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 da. I'm slowly going crazy.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
What?
It was a stirring of
That is
emotion
not
in his
fair.
chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
We can go back up. Let's go back up. Let's go back up.
Whoops.
We're going back up.
Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Ow!
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolstered to the edge of my seat.
I feel like there'll be an episode every day, guys.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
Yeah, best feeling ever!
How does he keep coming up with all of this?
I don't know. I got my cup. So I caught this guy something.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator.
Let's just call
I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
What? How about we call him the narrator? Since everybody calls the people narrator. Let's find out if it's the boss's office.
Oh my God. It's the boss's office.
Oh my God, you give me a heart attack.
Absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Are you kidding? What is happening?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
Are you kidding?
All right, I have fully come to terms with it. Space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative. Of course, going back down to the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? Sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted.
That's what you smell
I had no
like.
frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Magic gear book. Now sadly continue going up and down the elevator. It says yes! Nice! I'm not kidding, it did say yes. By the way, people who say it does ink inside a magic eight ball, it doesn't have ink inside
Hold
it.
on, let's stop for a moment.
It has cold water.
It's the anticipation, Stanley.
Wait, why are
You
you
and
stopping
I,
it?
we have no way of knowing what will be at
Damn.
the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't
my!
this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley,
No!
it
Just
seems
get
like
it over
nowadays
with! We
the
know
only
it from
thing
the
that
people!
audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments slung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly,
Yeah,
I
that's what
mean
you
it.
sound
This
like.
is unique and different. It's not like anything
You
else
wanna get
out
some
there. You
boys
see,
more?
I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but... Well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your
Do you think
storytelling
you're
and your
gonna blow
life.
up?
Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you
Am
have
I
on
playing
them.
copyright
This is the
stuff?
kind of
I don't
gesture
know.
that might leave a tremendous impact on them
Whatever.
for the better.
Can
Oh, good, we're here.
Oh, perfect timing. Wait, what is that the post office?
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
All eyes on Stanley, live on stage right now.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Right, no. I'm gonna explore a bit. Storyteller.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you,
Break a leg,
Stanley.
champ. Your
Okay,
boss.
it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Go get them. Why don't we go back? I don't want to do this. Okay, let's get them. Okay, let's do this. Oh, we're gonna stay calm. What happened? There's nothing new. Yeah, I don't think. I'm not sure if there's anything new yet. But I do not care. Ow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so apparently you have to like play through the game normally to get the new content. It says you get a new a content door when you
When
do
Stanley
it.
came to a set of 2 open doors,
We're
he
just gonna
entered
have
the
to
door on
speed.
his left.
We're just gonna have to rush through it, so no talking, just speed run.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Not true!
He
You
stepped
told
into
me
the
it.
newly opened passageway.
Now just get away. Also, I just wanted to say, I just wanted to say well done to the actual people who made Stanley Parable. How did I not get a copyright claim? How to get rid of copyright claims? I don't know how to. Do I give them the creators money? I don't have any money.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
Well, I
door
have
of the red mind control facility.
Let's get it. No thanks. Because this is how you get the new content or whatever. So let's do new ones.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Woo!
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Probably.
Now the monitors
Oh
jumped to life,
my!
their true nature
You got
revealed.
fired?
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
And why is nobody here who still hasn't solved the mystery?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. And a rising chill of uncertainty. He had won. He had defeated the machine,
I'm out.
unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even
we
as
might
the
have
immense
taken it
door
now.
slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand.
Who are many
but to
co-workers?
let
I'm literally going to search
No
it
longer
up.
would anyone tell him where to go.
I'm literally going to search it up.
How to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
I am not
The
moving.
feeling of liberation. The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay. It isn't known. Weird. It's not get the new content though. So do we? Let's hope we do. Jump. I am bouncing on my bed. Bouncing on my bed. That's how we actually get the new content.
All of his co-workers were
There's no
gone.
content.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No content. Wait one second. Watch video again. Okay, so we've closed the office door, beat the game, we've jumped to death. Let's do what people said to do. I were meant to be saying new content. Okay, never mind. We found new content.
Oh, new content? What
Nice.
does that mean? New content.
Finally! Thank God! I just wasn't looking proper. So with some new content. I want to jump! How do you jump? You can't jump in this game. Okay, I just pressed everything.
And thank
Oh
you
my!
for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Thank you.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
You want to hear a story?
The Stanley Parable
Let me
Ultra
just turn this down.
Deluxe
Yeah, this
features
is
exciting new content that broadens and
So,
expands the world of the Stanley Parable.
basically,
delighting
one
audiences
time,
the world over.
I was chilling in school, and then
Please,
I
step inside and see
felt
what
something
thrilling new adventures
tickling me.
await in
I hope you can
Stanley
hear me.
Parable.
I felt something tickling in my own body.
Oh, well, this
I
sounds
looked,
delightful.
there was
I'm very
nothing
excited to see the
there,
thrilling new
but then I feel it again, and I quickly look, and it was a little caterpillar on me. Yeah. Not really a small one. Not really small. But kind of a big one, actually. So, I just saved it off.
Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's
Then
just
the
the
teacher
beginning
said
of a
to throw it in the
mesmerizing
bin.
adventure.
Called murdered. She's a murderer. Jail battery isn't working.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, like that last time where it wasn't ready at all!
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh, look, that's the new content. I guess he, like, watches Earth, so he can't go anywhere else, I guess. The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Let's extra jump. Let's just jump then. How did it? Nice. That's not.
Is that it?
Yes.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Yes. There definitely can be something else. There definitely is something else. It has to be something else.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jump. Is this what it sounds for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new
This has
content.
been going on for a long time.
There's more.
I've still got about, let me think.
I knew there had to be something else.
I've still got
I'm ready
8
for
hours
whatever it is.
until I want to go to sleep. What other new content is there? What's that? Thank you for putting a new content. Wait,
That's
what?
it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me, Mrs. Stanley. This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Okay, I guess we didn't have an option. So that was all the new content. So I just ended the episode here. We'll have one final look, yes? We'll have one more look. Whoa! I almost. Oh! What happened to the building? What did they do to the building? They tried to look, make it look like normal. Wait.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay. Why are you invisible? Oh my! I need to get comfy for this. So I guess this isn't all of the new content. Well, the end is never the end. Is never the end. That sentence never gets end. Is never the end. Ah! Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got
Yes.
me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just
So we won't
our
remove
little
it.
secret. Take a look.
How do you make this? You're like, what? You.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Nice.
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
And PS4. Only the Stanley Parable or Ultra Deluxe is on PS4.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh, I feel bad for him. I feel so sad. I didn't know flowers were so hard. Where can I read
And over
this?
here is where I keep reviews of
Will
the
I
Stanley
get
Parable.
copyright claim
Like
for
this
this?
stunning triumph of
Probably
games
not.
journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
Please
James
don't give me
Stephanie
copyright
Sterling
claim.
writes, and I quote, "Where so
None of
many
this is
games that
mine."
aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now.
No, don't say that, don't say that. Don't say that, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that, don't say that. No. It's still good, it's still good. It's still normal, it's still normal. It's up here. At least it got some updates. Wait, is that me? Person of the Year, Stanley. Wow, it's actually showing how much he actually cares about us now.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Nice.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the Memory Zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
But oh no.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I have no idea where I'm going. I'm assuming the next one's here. Yeah, it is. Not recommend again.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Wait, this one says
Well, the idea for the game is good. For someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
No.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Nice! I just clicked through that one.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No.
Boring! Oh my.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a faultless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means. There's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. Yes. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated. And Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Wait, what?
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
This door
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I
Wait,
have
what?
to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise.
Let's press it.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh,
Oh!
good goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Oh, the
Stanley,
plant died.
I think it's been a week.
A
Or
week.
2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been,
Wait,
right?
he's
Me
trapped in
talking,
this room and he
you
can't do
saying,
anything.
would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing?
Oh no. Oh no. I can't see.
Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us
How
and
long
about
has it
everything
been?
we've been through. I've
I
had
think it's
so
been
much time. I stopped keeping track.
It's
after
been a
year.
couple
Have you
months,
ever
I
sat
think.
down in one
I think it's
place
been
and not
5
moved for
months.
one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To
Wait,
begin
what?
with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel.
It's getting up. Oh my. Did I hear something? Get out of here, Bill. Oh my god. Please go. Please go. Just let me get out of here.
But they didn't understand the game
Oh,
was never
yes!
meant to be
No,
funny.
no,
it was meant
no,
to have
no,
a
no.
point. It
No,
was
no,
meant to
no, no.
speak to the human
Here's some-
condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the
Here now
jokes?
is
They
some-
bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
He's just left. He's completely gone. How long is it?
The end is never the end,
Oh.
is never the end, 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 is never the
Oh my god. I think that he is now dead. He's to be dead now. Okay, let's just get out of here. Oh! What happened outside? Please just get me out of here. Please just get me out of here. This is creepy. Oh, this is better. Oh, that's better. What do I do? Oh! Oh, I like this. Let's see what's next. This is just worse. This is just completely worse. What the heck is happening? Please get me out of here. Please get me out of here. This is just worse. This is just worse. Oh my. The skip button. Speak to me. I think it's dead. I can finally skip. The earth is a complete desert. Where's the sun? The sun! Speak to me! What happened? The sun, you saw all of it. What happened? Well, I'm gonna go to the hills over here. Why do I feel like something's about to jump scare me? heard me throughout this episode. 'Cause it's almost been 1 hour doing this episode. Are you kidding me?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Wait.
Stanley decided to go to the
New
meeting
content
room.
though?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. Okay.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Yes.
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Nice. After all that, all like really long years, this happens. Whoa! Whoa. Open. The hokey pokey.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original
Guys, I'm actually
I'm
just surprised at being able to talk
live up to that legacy.
Don't tell you that I don't talk that much.
I say we take it one step even further.
One step
Which
even
is why
further.
I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh my God! Yes! Oh my! Yes! Oh my! Yes! Yes! Oh yes! Oh, but you fell. Oh, my back. But I think I got a bit overreacted though.
Yes, you see. Isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Okay.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be. But let's
Almost
take a
1
look
hour.
at some of the features I've been developing for it.
4 to 7.
But if I can
4,
loosely organize a handful of
7.
interesting concepts, then
I get
surely
it.
the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
The way to the sofa. At least we're the first one here, so we don't have to line up. Looks beautiful.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Nice. And what's this? Presume that seems the name of the power playing the game. Okay, let's go. Let's do this one first.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes! That is selection. Jim!
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But
Right
of course, in the
now!
final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Yes,
Here,
1
let's have
hour!
you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience.
And to
of this
celebrate
feature.
1 hour, we
I
just press
really sure
Jim.
love Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
I'm Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
I am Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Jim needs to hear with
Jim. If you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
No, that's my name.
Jim.
The Jim button. What did you do to the Jim button? Oh my god. What other features are there?
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable too. They would appreciate what I've created here.
What's up here?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem of the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
The bucket!
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for you than actually
Give me the bucket now!
to be less uncomfortable.
It looks beautiful.
Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that
Do you
would
want
be?
to marry?
Yes,
Do
the
you want to
bucket
marry?
is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Just give it
Can you feel it?
It's a
The glow
bucket.
of comfort,
It's a
even in the
bucket.
face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in
I'm
fact,
so proud
can
of
I say that
myself.
I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Yes! My wife will come with me.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I want to go to the infinite hole. The infinite hole, it won't end. The infinite hole? Where is the infinite hole?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one.
Ooh.
I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
I didn't say that!
actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Why is the infinite hole? The infinite hole will come down here. The Stanley Parable infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of.
The
It's never been
infinite
done
hole.
before in a video game.
Give me the
This is in
infinite
fact a
hole.
hole
It
that you can
seems
fall
very
down forever.
appreciated.
That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Ooh.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
No.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Don't worry, my wife is with me. The bucket. See, confused.
Stanley, I don't know
No.
quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerate
Okay, let's
the
keep it going.
infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
What?
From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You
Nice.
found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated here. I think we both said some things we
I
didn't
wonder
mean.
what Tom play
Why
with
don't we
now.
just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to... Oh, for heaven... You see?
Oops.
I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal
The
person
bucket,
would have
it
said,
has a
"Look, that's
hole."
an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort. Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but
Yes.
feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly,
I still
I
see-
didn't make an
Yeah,
infinite hole. I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to become extremely
Yeah, it's
certain
definitely getting
that the
stuck.
hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes,
I like it
but
out.
at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh,
One sec, I need to get a snack. Sorry guys, that'll take a while. Because I feel like I did.
Who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
No.
You sure? Well,
Yeah.
I really don't have an explanation. It was still nothing. Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Aw. Wait, what's happening? That noise. But the hole's like deeper. Am I meant to be worried? Am I meant to be worried here? Oh! Something is happening. From your perspective. Oh my! I like this. I like this for some reason. Can you relax? Yeah, this seems nicer.
Now it's stronger.
Hang up though. This is good.
Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley.
Oh,
Because this hole is
to do
just
some
so
more.
darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
It's happening again. I think maybe I don't
try out some of the new features. Calling it Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress. Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident?
Yes.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley. But I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Fine.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The figures.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That all?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
The jump circle. Yeah. Isn't he meant to say something? He's not saying anything. Why isn't he saying anything? Is he meant to say something? Let me look. go to the jumper circle. Exit.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
Yes,
I know it's not
definitely.
exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Take a look. I really miss Tom Player. In a sec. Let me code something. Okay, this did something. This is the Stanley Parable. This is the Stanley Parable. I'm dead. I'm dead.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big...
Oh my God! Oh!
All of his co-workers had gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Look, a big green.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotion, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes,
Hopefully.
this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, and while we're with it, this is basically a part that was meant to get rid of, but no, I actually
The elevator raced downward,
So let's start
plummeting
again.
towards an unknown fate.
This
It would be all
bucket,
Stanley
it might
could
give
do
us
to
a
keep himself
different
together,
ending.
if not for the bucket.
Have the bucket.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Me and the bucket will escape.
Monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Yeah, because we've done it before. He hasn't. Stop doing that. Wait, we should be able to find ours. 42. Employee 427. That's us. Employee 427. Whoa. That is so sick. Why am I here?
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Definitely
Had the
not!
bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it.
No!
His own life in someone else's control, never!
No!
He squeezed the bucket tighter.
What
His
the
one
heck?
friend in the entire world. At this point,
That
he
is
could
like
trust no one
unfair.
except for the bucket.
We are like very nice, and he is not.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
But what do you
Controls
think?
labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terror. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
Oh no!
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.